Have you ever wondered what it takes to win 60 fights with only a wooden sword? Today we delve into the life and philosophy of a man who did just that, Miyamoto Musashi, a samurai warrior famed for his discipline and inner strength. Musashi, a figure of legendary status, was as much a philosopher as he was a warrior, a man who honed his mind as keenly as his blade. His life was a testament to the power of discipline, the strength of will and the unyielding spirit of the samurai. He was a man who, even when faced with overwhelming odds, never backed down, never wavered, and never lost. But beyond his martial prowess, Musashi was also known for his profound wisdom. He penned a book called The Five Rings, a treatise on tactics, strategy, and philosophy. This was not just a manual for warfare, but a guide for life, a text that offers invaluable insights into the art of living. In The Five Rings, Musashi shared his philosophy, a set of principles that are as applicable today as they were in the era of the samurai. He spoke of strategy, not just in the context of battle, but in navigating the tumultuous waters of life. He wrote of tactics, of the importance of planning, of foresight, and of the power of anticipation. But perhaps most importantly, he wrote of philosophy. He delved into the nature of the self, the importance of discipline, and the power of inner strength. He taught that true strength is not just physical prowess, but the ability to master one's desires, to control one's emotions, and to maintain one's composure in the face of adversity. And so as we delve deeper into the life and teachings of Miyamoto Musashi, we discover a man whose philosophy transcends time and culture. A man whose wisdom continues to inspire and guide us even today. Musashi was not just a warrior, he was a philosopher who understood the importance of discipline and inner strength. What if I told you the secret to true strength lies in recognizing our limitations? In the grand tapestry of life, humility and acceptance are the threads that hold everything together. These aren't just mere words, but powerful principles that have guided the lives of great individuals throughout history. Take, for instance, the legendary samurai warrior Miyamoto Musashi. He was known not merely for his indomitable will and unparalleled sword technique, but for his philosophy. Musashi, despite his numerous victories, was a man of profound humility. He understood that true strength wasn't about overpowering an opponent with brute force, but recognizing one's own limitations. He believed that to achieve genuine power, one must accept the reality of their circumstances, their strengths, and their weaknesses. But acceptance isn't about surrender. No, it's about understanding the terrain of your life. The mountains you can climb, the valleys you must cross, and the rivers you can navigate. It's about knowing where you stand and how far you can go. Humility, on the other hand, is about recognizing the worth of others. It's about understanding that we are not the center of the universe, but mere dots in a vast cosmos. Musashi showed immense respect for others, even his opponents. He understood that every individual had their own battles, their own victories, and their own defeats. In his eyes, every person was a warrior, fighting their own unique war. This respect for others, this humility, allowed Musashi to form harmonious relationships. He knew that no man is an island, and that we all need each other to survive, to thrive. By acknowledging the value of others, he was able to build bridges of understanding and empathy. In his book, Five Rings, Musashi wrote about tactics, strategy, and philosophy. But at the core of his teachings was this fundamental truth. True strength lies in humility and acceptance. It's about recognizing our limitations and respecting others. It's about understanding that we are not invincible, but we are resilient. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember Musashi's wisdom. Embrace your limitations, respect others, and stand tall with humility. True strength, according to Musashi, lies in humility and acceptance. Can you be confident and humble at the same time? Musashi believed so. He was a perfect embodiment of this balance, walking the tightrope between confidence and humility with grace. His approach was simple yet profound. When facing adversities, he would approach them with a robust confidence, a belief in his ability to overcome. But this confidence was never brash or arrogant. Musashi always remained open-minded, accepting that he didn't have all the answers, and that there was always room to learn and grow. This humility did not diminish his confidence, rather it enhanced it. It was a confidence rooted in reality, not in delusions of grandeur. And then there was his belief in the virtue of service. Musashi understood that true happiness was not about personal gain or self-aggrandizement. It was about serving others, about contributing to the well-being of those around him. The balance between confidence and humility is the pathway to harmonious relationships. Opening, how do you control your desires and emotions for happiness and strength? The samurai, known for their formidable skills and unwavering spirit, held a unique perspective on this. At the core of their philosophy was the cultivation of self-control. They believed that desires and emotions, if left unchecked, could lead to chaos and disharmony. They practiced a life of simplicity and contentment. They understood that desires are endless, like a bottomless pit. The more you feed them, the more they grow. So instead of seeking to fulfill every desire, the samurai chose to limit their wants. They found joy not in possessions or luxury, but in the simplicity and tranquility of life. This minimalist lifestyle was not a result of deprivation, but a conscious choice born out of wisdom. The samurai's discipline was also marked by their willingness to sacrifice personal comforts for the common good. They knew that true strength lies not in pursuing one's desires, but in putting aside personal wants for the sake of others. This self-sacrifice was not seen as a burden, but a path to honor and fulfillment. Their discipline was not a mere suppression of desires and emotions. It was a way to channel their energy into constructive avenues. They chose to respond, not react. Instead of being slaves to their emotions, they took charge of them. They did not deny their feelings, but they did not let them control their actions either. In the heat of battle, this discipline allowed the samurai to remain calm and focused. It helped them make rational decisions in the face of danger. Their strength was not just physical, but mental and emotional as well. But don't mistake this discipline for rigidity. The samurai were adaptable, flexible. They knew when to hold firm and when to yield. They were like the bamboo, bending in the wind but never breaking. This adaptability was also a part of their discipline. Samurai's discipline was a way of life, a philosophy that guided their every action. It was about more than just self-control. It was about living with purpose and integrity. It was about putting the needs of others before their own, about living a life of honor and respect. Closing, the samurai's discipline was rooted in self-control and sacrifice. What if actions contradicting your values can actually guide your path? This may sound paradoxical, but it's a perspective worth considering. Every action we take is a reflection of our values, our beliefs, our inner compass. But what happens when our actions contradict these values? It's like the needle of a compass spinning wildly, indicating a deviation from our true north. Think of it as a wake-up call, a sign that you're veering off your path. Perhaps you're succumbing to temptations or pressures that are pulling you away from your core beliefs. This is not a moment for self-judgment, but rather a moment for self-awareness. It's a chance to reassess, to realign, to navigate back to your true values. Remember, it's the challenges, the temptations, the contradictions that truly test the strength of your values. Staying true to them in spite of these tests is where real growth happens. Your actions are a compass, guiding you towards or away from your values. Everyone has the potential to be wise. Can you tap into it? Wisdom isn't the exclusive domain of scholars and philosophers. It's an inherent potential within each of us, waiting to be cultivated and harnessed. The key to unlocking this wisdom lies in mental endurance. Mental endurance is the ability to persist in the face of adversity, to maintain focus and determination when the going gets tough. It's about keeping a cool head when emotions are running high and making decisions based on logic and reason rather than letting feelings cloud our judgment. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather understanding them, learning from them, and using them as guides rather than letting them take the driver's seat. But wisdom is more than just mental endurance and logical decision-making. It's also about understanding the nuances of power and strength. In a world that often equates power with aggression and dominance, it's easy to forget that true strength often lies in restraint. Consider the samurai warriors of old. They were some of the most formidable fighters in history, yet they understood that their greatest strength wasn't in their ability to wield a sword, but in their ability to control their own impulses. They knew that a person with immense power who chooses to restrain it is showing a strength that is far greater than physical might. This is a lesson that still holds true today. Anyone can lash out in anger or let their ego run wild. But it takes a truly strong person to choose restraint, to choose understanding over retaliation, compassion over cruelty, humility over arrogance. So, how do we tap into this wisdom? It starts with cultivating discipline and inner strength. It's about training the mind as diligently as we train the body. About practicing humility and compassion, about making the hard choices that align with our values, even when it's easier to take the low road. Remember, wisdom isn't about knowing all the answers, it's about asking the right questions and having the courage to face the answers, even when they're not what we want to hear. Every person can be wise, it's a matter of discipline and inner strength.